Welcome, welcome! Boy, we're excited tonight. You know, spring is just an exciting time of year, and we're just going to make it a little more exciting with some new patterns, some new products, and some new knowledge, some new information. I think that can be the most exciting thing of it all. So, gee, where do we begin? Where do we begin? I think we begin with the colors of what's going on for 2021. This is spring 2021. So we're going to just take a look at the spring colors. We'll bring those up. And you know, when you go, because especially with the virus going on right now, so much is being done online, that there's so much online, I think it's hard to even sometimes get accurate information because there's just a big influx. So it used to be that Pantone released their colors, and now you've got a lot of people releasing colors, and there's conflictual colors. So what I look for, and what I would suggest you look for, is look for fashion trends when you go to look for the colors. So if you'll notice here, this says the fashion color trend. And they have those Pantones that are basically incorporated, but then designers also have like a classic palette that they include. Of course, your blacks and your gray, and because those things are always included, and they are a big part of fashion. They really are a part of that classic look, and so we're going to include those in our colors. So let's just look at the colors for a little bit, and let's see what we're going to do. We've got a marigold, which is kind of like a marigold. It's kind of like an orangey yellow, maybe. And then we've got a blue Ceylon, I think it's called quite a bit, cerulean. It's called cerulean. I call it Ceylon all the time because it's hard to spell. Cerulean. And then there's a beautiful rust. And I'm going to give you some fabric numbers, just so you can see that some of the fabrics we have that are close to these numbers. And a lot of times, even though I know they're the summer or spring 2021 colors, I don't call them the colors because I think not a lot of us know the colors. So for instance, 4030, I'm going to show you that one. And you guys are sitting at your computer, look at 4030, the fabric number is 4030. We called it a sky blue. But it's the same as that, what they're showing there. And then the next one is 3965. It's kind of a rust. I think we called it a brick. Not that y'all don't know what rust is, but again, we also go by the color that's on the tag of the fabric when it arrives. And so there's different names that are used, and we'll typically use the name that's on there, just so we don't have any misinterpretation. And then you see a yellow, and I want everyone, your homework assignment is to see how many yellow things actually are out there. I do have some yellows, and I'll put them up this weekend. I have found over the years, let's see, we are how old are we? 24 years old? We're 24 years old this year as a pattern company. In 24 years, we haven't done well with yellow. We haven't been selling fabrics for 24 years, don't get me wrong. We've been selling fabrics maybe 5 or 6 years. But in that time frame, what I'm saying to you is yellow just doesn't really work well. But we're going to keep trying, so I do have some yellows. We're going to put them up. And then you see this beautiful blue. It's a really rich blue. We have a fabric, it's 4034, so you might look at that. They're not necessarily exact, but I think they're pretty close. Greens, I stay away from greens altogether. I'm not sure if it's because something in my head. I love green. We have a green and gray. I didn't write that fabric down, but it's a green and gray, and both green and gray are very strong for spring. It's a green and gray stripe, and it's in the fabrics that I put up. They were on sale for $10.99. They're $12.99 now, but it's like an ITY knit. It's very nice. And then you see there's like it's called a coral. Look at 4028. That's a Rebecca Taylor. I just put that up today. It's beautiful. It's like a jacquard. It's very, very pretty. Purple, we don't have any purple right now. That intensity is not something that we have. And then the other one, is not too far from, they look a lot different on the screen, but they're not that far apart from each other. The burnt coral and then the the raspberry sorbet. The raspberry obviously is a richer, redder color than the burnt coral. The coral is more orangey. But as far as intensity goes, they're both really nice. They're both really nice, and you see the rust up there. So you notice there's a lot of winter. Those are actually winter tones. So for winters, you're in luck. You got a lot of great colors this season, and then you've got your black, your gray, your buttercream, which is an off-white. You've got your, oh, there's a $39.89 on that buttercream. I wanted you to look at that. It's a Rebecca Taylor, beautiful classic fabric. It's a plaid. And then for the willow, the one on the very end, I wanted you to look at $39.50. We called that a, I can't remember what we called it, a peanut. I think I called it a peanut. Again, because peanut was on the tag, like I don't come up with these names. Sometimes I think they're good, and sometimes I think, oh, this is probably not good. But hey, the factory I feel like knows better than I do, and so I'm not going to be one to upset the apple cart. So those are those colors that are going to be in for spring, and it'll be exciting. I think whenever we see that spring trend, and as we start to see the spring trends come into the store, sometimes I look at them all and I think, gosh, did anybody look at the spring trend of the designers, you know? I know they do sometimes on the runway, but what actually goes into the store is completely different. So this will be fun. This will be fun to watch. We're going to be on the yellow watch. Okay, that's everybody's homework assignment, is to be on the yellow watch. Okay, then we're going to go to this next photo. And it's always fun to me to look at these trends, because this one particularly I put up on purpose. I want you guys to watch it, and I want to go through it together, because I just think it's not applicable to anybody I know. I know a lot of ages too. Okay, so number one, oversized boyfriend jacket. The boyfriend jacket is a lapel-less jacket, even though they have lapels on them now, but it's supposed to be lapel-less with one button at the waist. And of course the whole oversized thing is coming in for spring. I don't know if they're trying to realize that we've all been home and we've all gained weight, and so this is an easy way to ease us into spring. It's okay. Black face masks. I'm just going to read through them without comments. Headscarves, sorbet pastel tones. Sorbet pastel tones. Yellow bags. So maybe that's what we're supposed to do with the yellow. We're not supposed to wear it. We're supposed to put it on our bags. Whoops, I said no commentary. Sorry. Folk-inspired coats. White knee-high boots. And my mind goes back to Twiggy and the white knee-high boots. Yellow and camel color styling. Did I read that right? Yellow and camel color styling. So, you know, I think the best thing about fashion is we want to pick up on really what we're going to really like, and then we can follow after those things. All right, so then what I did is I went to really the top, there's some top 12 trends, and you guys, you know that Everybody Magazine and everybody, I kind of meshed them all together. Because some things I saw, as I'm seeing what's deliverable, and you know, as I watch the shows, and you can watch all the shows online now. You can just search for Spring 2020 Fashion Forecast. In fact, there's, you know, probably weeks worth of watching. There's that many shows that you can watch, and of course they're in Paris first, and then they're New York, and so you can really watch a lot of designers and a lot of shows. And I think the hardest thing for me to watch is that they're just a little bit the same. It's just hard to kind of focus because there's so much the same. And they're not things we'd really wear. The whole goal of those shows is to really almost put an impression out there. They spend a lot of money putting that impression out there, then they kind of filter it down, including Chanel, even all of them. You know, they just put a show out there. It's kind of like an art show almost, and then they just filter it down. Very few things that you see on the runway actually happen to the stores or actually happen to ready to wear. It's just a show. Okay, so let's look at the top 12 trends, because that's kind of what I look at. Not just when I look at that when I'm buying fabrics, but I also look at that when I'm making new patterns, because I want the patterns to really look clean and fresh. I want them to look new. And I think as we're sewing our own clothes, a lot of that and what looks new is because of the fabric that represents and the colors and then of course the new patterns themselves. Combine them all together and we really get a fresh new look. Okay, so those top 12 trends. So we have photos, and as we go through the photos, I'm going to say the looks. And these to me are what influence, I'm doing this all back in, September. A lot of times it's what influences me to decide what to bring out. If there's something on that list that we're missing, or there's something on that list that we don't have as a pattern company, then I want to make sure, we bring that out as a pattern, especially if it's something that's going to be super popular. Okay, so the first there that we're seeing is the trench coat. And the trench coat, as you know, we've got 1925, which is Barbara's trench. Great pattern, needs no amending, needs nothing. It's just a really great pattern. The original was the Burberry trench. I've done many shows on only using two. I did a PBS show on two parts, 2 pieces, 4 pieces, 6 pieces, So once you've got that pattern and you've got 28 of those pieces, or however many pieces are in that pattern, you don't have to use all of them every time. It's great to do parts and pieces and put them together. And we've done plenty of showing how to do that. So the next one is oversized, and I think it's interesting, and it's kind of what led me into doing the blouse I have on. This blouse I have on is a kimono. What we know about oversizing and wearing things that are too large is they're just not flattering. They're not flattering to anyone. If you're 100 pounds and 5 feet, 6 feet, maybe they're flattering or anything looks good on you. But in the real world, oversized clothing just isn't flattering on us. So then I started thinking, well, I could do a kimono, and a kimono can be controlled and it can really look good because you can pair it with a princess seam. And so that was my thinking in coming out with this blouse, which this is 721. Same blouse I have on is 721. I got to remember all the names. You guys know the names. 721. I can't remember. But anyway, 721 is a new pattern. It's got a princess seam. It's got gathers at the waist. It's got little ruffles at the sleeve. And you can see when I have it on, and I'm using it as a blouse, and then I have it on the mannequin here. And I did the side panel in a black, and you can watch the little video we've got on YouTube. It's got gathers. Gathers are a big part of spring in 2021. And of course, little gathers at the waist, little drawstring at the waist as well. This is a border print, so I just used it in the middle. You guys may remember this fabric, may have this fabric, but it was just kind of like linear pipes. And so I just kind of arranged them to be in the center and where I wanted it to be. And because I wanted you to see that blouse as both a blouse and a jacket, we did that in the video. We did a blouse, and then of course we did a jacket, or did it open, so you could see that it really can be done both ways. But the kimono gives that oversized feeling. The princess seam controls it a little bit. So you definitely get the look, which is going to be popular this spring, of this oversizing, but it brings it in and gives you some shape and some good looks, okay? So that oversized is popular. It is going to be out there this spring, and I think it's a way, again, to kind of get away from fit and go the opposite direction, just for a short period of time. Do you want to answer questions? Do we have questions? Is everybody okay? Everybody good? All right. Okay. All right, so then the next one we're going to go into is, you can see it on the screen there, is bright florals. And you guys know Laura? Laura, I don't mean to pick on you, but I'm going to pick on you. Laura doesn't like prints. And she said to me a little while ago, well, maybe I'm starting to lean into prints. And I do think prints are I can see why she made that statement. I can see why she doesn't like them, because I remember making that statement a few years back, maybe a lot of years back, but I remember I did not like prints. So I've learned their value, and their value is really that they take and pair solids beautifully. They pull together an outfit. They really give a great look to pieces rather than having solid, solid, solid. And also, they're pretty. It doesn't mean you have to like every print out there, but I noticed that there's some just really beautiful prints out there. This is one we just put up. It's a very soft little print. It's a Rebecca Taylor, And I think it's beautiful. And so I would suggest that when you start going with prints, you know, go to a little darker shade that just have a little bit of color in them. And I think you'll warm up to them. And Laura, hopefully I didn't tell the whole world something I shouldn't have. But I do really understand what she said when she said, you know, she didn't really like prints. So if you're not a print person, I don't know, I think we've got some great prints. I think anytime I buy prints, I'm very careful with them because I just don't, I don't like prints. I do like prints, but you know what I'm saying. I come from a background where I don't like prints, so I feel like I'm pretty careful. I'm a pretty picky print picker. Is that a fair statement? Okay, the next one we're going to go with is, and we saw this on the other one, is a multicolored coat. So again, when I'm thinking about doing patterns, I'm going to put princess seams in so that I can do a side panel in one color, a sleeve in another color, a front in another color, and the same with this little jacket. This is A&O's Kimono Blouse. I remembered. Alice and Olivia is who the original one was. 721 A&O original blouse. This is a Valentino jacket, 921 Valentino's jacket. I did it in a solid. It's got a little welt pocket. It's just really beautiful. I love the little feature here that's got a little button peeking out from underneath here. And so again, having it done with a princess seam and a set-in sleeve, it really gives you the opportunity of cutting that thing up, putting it back together again, and creating lots of different colors. A princess seam is a great way to do this multicolor coating, but not completely forget fit and leave it to the side, but incorporate it. Because I do know that there's many women that I talk to, they'll say, oh, I love the fabrics, and I loved it all, but it doesn't love me. It doesn't love me. When I put it on, it just looks horrible, and I don't wear it because it looks so bad. So that's what I'm kind of cautioning you about, so that when we think of fit, even if it's a loose fit, at least it's a little structure to where once I get there, I'll like it. What type of fabric is the dark print blouse? The dark print blouse? This one here? This fabric is the black I just put up. You guys, I don't even have fabric numbers. I'm really sorry. It's all on the front page. I just put up about 8 different Rebecca Taylor fabrics. This is, I think this is a cotton poly or rayon poly. It's got beautiful drape to it. Solid blouse. This one, if this is the blouse you're talking about, this is 100% cotton. This is a linen. I'll just answer everything and then we'll have the answer for you. This is a cotton also, 100% cotton. Okay? All right, and also I think it matters what fabric it is. You know, we've all become kind of fabric snobs where we really like our beautiful fabric. Even my sons have become fabric snobs. It's a great thing. Okay, then the next picture we're going to go to is one of the trends that we're seeing is sports clothing being worn every day. Now, we've seen this trend for a while. We're talking leggings, we're talking yoga pants, we're talking hoodies. All of these sporting things that are normally considered sportswear or used to be considered outdoor wear are really being part of fashion. Hoodies with masks, I mean, you know, we just all hunker down and cover up and off we go. So just be aware of that whole trend that's being out there. And we have some great clothing that has hoods, that has, you know, we just did for fall, Brenda's hoodie. So I really felt like we had covered that category. We had 109 as a hoodie and top. We have a pattern that's 7, or it's 8, no, it's 917, 917. It's an Armani. The original was an Armani, and I love it. I mean, I wear something like that all the time, but we've been seeing this trend for a while, but it's kind of been made official for spring now, is that our athletic clothing is going to be brought in as fashion and made out of nicer fabrics and more costly. We see things being made like by Prada that are thousands of dollars, and they are really leisure wear, sporty leisure wear, but they've kind of done it up a little bit. So this next one, you guys, is of course my favorite, and that is that we are cinching in at the waist. We are it's called cinch it, but we're creating shape. And there's so many ways that we are creating shape. And I think it's to offset the big and the extra flow of going in, because they know that that's not a positive look, and so what do? You cinch it. And how you cinch it doesn't even make any difference. The chain belts are very popular. Number one, because they're light, they're kind of multi-sized, you can go everywhere with them, they're thin, and they can pull in a big amount. So those, if you don't have a chain belt, get one. If you have one, just go through your closet, it's time to clean anyway, and pull out a chain belt. Chain belts are just all over right now in fashion. So this whole idea of cinching it in, and we're doing it with princess seams mainly because it's so easy to do it that way. But notice we've also got a tie on the 721. This jacket is doing it with princess seams, and of course on this 201 is, I think that was A&O. You guys, I've got the patterns mixed up. The Easy Knit Cardigan, that's the one I've got on, the 201, and again with a tie in the front, a cardigan that just cinches in by tying. So we've been seeing that for a while, but it's again kind of being made a trend. They don't see 721 on the webpage. Okay, so go to the website and you can help me out, you guys.
I can give them a link as well.
Okay, yeah, go to the website, and on the very center column, very first thing on the center column, it says 2021 spring patterns, 2021 spring patterns. If you just click on that, 721, there's 201. The new patterns are 201, which is the cardigan. The 321, which is the Acros faux cowl t-shirt. Then 721, which is this shirt I have on. It's this right here. Except I can't remember what 721's called.
A&O.
It is A&O. Well, the cardigan is Knix. Easy. Knit is N-I-C. Knix Easy Knit Kimono Cardigan. Or Kimono Knit Cardigan. I don't know which one comes first. Okay, so it is A&O. Alice and Olivier is who that was. And so I just did A&O. And then we have Valentino's. This is an Unlined jacket. It's a lot like a jean jacket, but I'll keep going and just refer back to those. But so that's where they are. And then if you click on those little images or on the numbers, either one, it'll take you to the page. The patterns themselves are not orderable except as a set. We're only doing a pre-sale. The pre-sale, you guys, I know I've said this before, but it helps us tremendously know how many patterns to order and not have crazy too much or run out, because we have to order certain quantities at a time. So that pre-sale really, really helps us. And because to offset the pre-sale, you have to wait a few weeks. We give you a pattern free and we do free shipping. Okay? All right, so then, does the Acros pattern include the dress? The Acros pattern is not a tank. The Acros pattern is a long sleeve t-shirt. It's not a dress, I just added length. I literally just added a box, and you can see there's no fit to it, I just pulled it in with a chain. So it's not a dress, it's this shirt right here. Okay, it's got a French dart, that's the shirt, that's the way it looks. And again, for the video, I just wanted you to see some options, so I literally just added like 16 inches to the bottom. And then this is another one. This one I did in a sleeveless. And you can see probably there's a French dart, and we can go from there, okay? Okay, then, so cinching it in, yay, cinching it in. I'm all for cinching it in. I'm a cincher, you guys know that, right? Is the white, what is that white blouse you're wearing? That's the same as this one right here. It's 721, A&O's Kimono Blouse. Okay, then the next one is Khaki Pants. That's it, that's that one. It's Khaki Pants. So last time we did that Kimono's stretch woven pant, 3218. It's still the pattern of the month. The whole reason I did that is that's the most common pant that's being used for spring. So I wanted to give us a heads up. I wanted to do the pant. I wanted to fit the pant so you had time to kind of, you know, get it done and do it in a khaki. We've got, I don't know if we have any khaki fabric up right now, but I've got some that will get up. I'll get it up. But it's some beautiful stretch woven khakis. That's what you want. And it's like the base for everything. And if you think about it, it would go with so many of these outfits just to do a khaki pant on the bottom. So it's very classic and it's very trending right now. And then the next one we're going to see on our 12 trends is tie-dye. And tie-dye continues to just be really strong. If you hate it, then just ignore it. If you love it, embrace it. Duh. But you know what, it's just, I love tie-dye. Because I think, you know, in the 70s when we did it, we didn't do it really near as nicely as what they do it now. They've done it really pretty. And there's some beautiful tie-dyes. So I really like it. I've got several shirts that I just can't get rid of in my closet because they're so comfortable and I just love them. All right, and then the next one we're going to see is, you guys will all laugh, it's one of my favorites. It's the Standout Shoulders. Yay, shoulders are coming back. What shoulders do is now not to these extremes of all of these, but typically shoulders, as we naturally widen them, they make us look thinner. And I know I've talked about shoulders before, and we've seen a lot of puff sleeves. All of those things are gearing us for this whole extended shoulder look. I think obviously as you can get too big, it makes your head look like a little peanut. If you have a big head, you know, hey, go wider shoulders. I don't know what to tell you. But just know that shoulder pads are in style. You could easily put a shoulder pad in a blouse, or this jacket, this 921, this Valentino's Unlined jacket, is meant to be like a little jean jacket. I just love, I've made probably 4 of these, and I just really love this jacket. It's easy to make, it goes together really nicely. And like I said, it's meant to be like a little jean jacket. You can see it's got little button trim right here. I just love it. So you could do shoulder pads in that if you want to. If not, leave them out if you don't like a shoulder pad. I really do think back in the 80s, shoulder pads got a very bad name, and they've not been able to get away from it. So we need to get away from it. They really do balance us. If they just get too extreme, they're too extreme. But that's definitely what they're heading back to. So just a warning that if you don't like those really big shoulders, be aware. Does the acros pattern work for non-stretch woven? The acros pattern would be this one right here. And no, this is, you know, I mean, I guess that's not true. I guess it would depend if you did it sleeveless. You got to get, it's a t-shirt. So a non-stretch woven, I would say no. It's recommended for knits. It doesn't mean you can't do it sleeveless and convert it and make it work with another fabric, but its design is for knits. Knits go around the body. It has a knit sleeve, so just be aware. I noticed that the t-shirts are shorter than I've ever seen over the last 2 years. Is this a new trend? It is. The crop is a trend. And so because I'm not going to put out a pattern that's a crop, I didn't say I did it that much shorter, but I did go a little shorter. They are shorter. They're just hitting the top of the pant or even cropped up higher. So I knew you all could add length or take away length. That wasn't my big focus. But when we were doing a fashion video, I wanted it to have a little more fashion feel. I guess is the best way to say that. All right, and then the next photo. Oh, how large of a shoulder pad would you put in a new jean jacket? Like a 1/2 inch. Don't put it 1 inch. 1 inch would be too big, but a 1/2 inch would be really nice. And our little 1/2 inch shoulder pads we have are really nice shoulder pads. They're probably a little wider than you need, but you can use the width. I mean, you know, the thickness. And then you can cut them to the size you want them to be. You can anchor them in right at the base of the collar, and they're very nice. Number 10 then is netting. So this netting we're seeing a lot of, and in fact, and I'm so sorry I didn't go through and get numbers of our fabrics, because we have a lot of this stuff. We have a navy blue that I just put up. So forget the 8 new fabrics I put up today, but if you go back to the last grouping, that was like Sunday and Monday, there's some really beautiful stripes and open weaves that are very, very pretty. There's a navy that's really beautiful, and they're very inexpensive. And so what they're doing with a lot of these is making cardigan, like what I have on, this little 201. You can do a blouse out of it and then wear a tank underneath. So they're layering this, and it's really pretty. It's very pretty, this netting effect. And it's literally not netting. It just means more like a mesh covering or a mesh opening. All right, and then we have denim. And what we know about denim is they're kind of rebranding denim. They're calling it biodegradable denim. Well, denim is cotton, and cotton is biodegradable. So again, they're just kind of rebranding it because we're more aware of our environment. We're more aware of our recycling and all those things as we go forward to 2021, which all is a good thing. We all need to be more so, but just know that biodegradable denim is just cotton. It's just cotton. So we're just now all, biodegradable. We're very economy conscious or, environmentally conscious, and that's a good thing. And then the next one is, of course, pastels. Now, I think it's fascinating to me that we put pastels in when pastels are not what was in the color fashion trend. You really didn't see pastels. You saw yellow and you saw light green, but you really didn't see pastels. So I think it's a little contradictory, which says to me, you get to do a lot of what you like. But having said that, I think there are some trends that surface that say this is new. And so I really think personally for each of us, if we try to pick a trend that we haven't done before, I think it's a good thing. I think it helps us grow. I think it helps us broaden our wardrobes, and I really think it helps us look really good. Which are your patterns? Oh, I'm sorry. Did you interface the linen pink floral top under the gray Valentino jacket? This is really a blue, but I'm okay that you call it a gray. Did I interface this? No. No, it's a knit. You wouldn't want to fuse it. No, the answer is no. Sorry, I'll just leave it at that. No. Which one of your patterns is best used for a regular t-shirt? Which one of your patterns is best used for a regular t-shirt with no collar? 195 is our base, I think is maybe what you're asking. 195. Okay, so if the spring patterns are buy 3 get 1 free shipping and each pattern is $15.99, then shouldn't the website have the 4 spring patterns of $47.97 and not $49.99? 16 times 3, maybe we can't add, I don't know. I don't do that. I don't do that anymore. I used to do everything, but I don't know. If so, you're being overcharged $2, or you're being charged $2 for shipping, or you're being charged $2 for the pattern. But they're $49.99. Hope that helps. Okay, so there's trends, and then let's go to 8 essentials. I love these essentials, you guys. That means we must have them. Essentials. All right, and I'll let you pick it from there. All right, I love this. Power pants, these are called. Power pants. You have to have a pair of power pants. Okay? Number 2. This is actually a sweatsuit. So she just got out of the gym, and this is what she decided to wear. This is a sweatsuit. Doesn't look like a sweatsuit to me, but that's what it is. Everybody should have one. A stylish sweatsuit, it's called. Okay, and then the next one, of course, is our bright colors. And our bright colors, if really you just want to sneak in for spring, bright colors are the way to go. Second skins. In other words, things are being worn very tightly, which is a little contradictory of what we said, which was oversized. But again, I think it means you can wear it whichever way you like. So that's why I wanted to show you these, because they're all in spring 2021. And again, I think because there's so many who are doing spring forecasts now, that you do get a lot of contradiction. And I think the true test for me is always what's in the stores. That's kind of what I go by. And 2 weeks from tonight, we'll do a spring fashions, like, where I go and look and tell you what's in the store, and I sew them and make them up. And I always really enjoy that, because I really see what's in the store, because by then, or by about now, the spring fashions are actually being delivered to the stores. And I think it's exciting. I think it's exciting to see who made the cut and who made the filter and who's actually in the stores. All right, then you see the shoulders. Now these are called sharp shoulders, and I feel certain no one will wear these, but this is called fashion. And of course, if you also notice, there's monochromatic dressing here, because monochromatic, again, is really popular. It doesn't even have to be the whole top to bottom, but I've noticed that we did it in our little video clip, the little YouTube video clip, where it was the top and the cardigan that were matching. It was this top, and then we had the little cardigan, the 201, to match it. And those, if those 2 pieces up top match, they're calling that monochromatic, which is a little bit different take on what monochromatic used to be, which is the same color top to bottom. So just kind of FYI, heads up on that. All right, and then the next one is tunics. And I got to tell you, I have seen tunics already arrive, and they're really pretty. They're doing, though, because they're very casual, They're doing them with beautiful slits up the side, gathered waist, all kinds of fun tunics. And I really want to, this tunic is really just a tank top that's lengthened. So I want you to kind of pay attention. I want to do some of this stuff in a couple weeks. And then we see these dainty dresses. So basically that just means a lot of ruffles, whatever dainty means to you, lace, etc., etc. Rebecca Taylor is excellent on this, so I would really watch her site. She does a lot of beautiful things. There's a Rebecca Taylor store here in Dallas that I go and look at. But a lot of these fabrics that we have, literally they're still in the stores. I, have looked and put some of them up because I found them, but I just didn't have time. But there's a lot that we've got that are just brand new up, and we've got a whole lot of Rebecca Taylor. We've got a lot. So I'm excited to have them. I'm excited to share them. And what I love about her fabrics is they're quality fabrics. I know at the mill she's paying close to $30 a yard. And because she's selling off what we have, we're just getting them for just next to nothing. It's just wonderful. And then this last one, I love this more than anything, is texture. I love texture. It's probably my favorite little motto in life. I just love clothes with texture. I guess it just creates an interest. I'm not sure what it is, but texture is something that if you're not into, maybe make it part of your upcoming whatever, upcoming wardrobe for spring. Spring is a really fun time to clean out. We've got those foam hanger covers. I love those things. I've gotten to where almost all of my closet now has those foam hangers, and all I did was I didn't try to find the time to go through and completely redo my closet. Well, I mean, once I cleaned it out, that took long enough. But what I did is I wore something, and when I went to hang it back up after I washed it, I put a foam hanger cover on it, and so now most of my closet has gotten to where it's got those foam hanger covers, and I love them. They make such a difference in how the garment stays on the hanger, and it doesn't make marks. It's just wonderful. All right, so I wanted to bring something up for spring, and this is a kind of a creed. This is a creed. So every year I go to Pinehurst, and last summer included, we went to Pinehurst. And Pinehurst, for those of you who don't know, maybe you're not golf-associated people, but Pinehurst number 2 is probably one of the most famous golf courses in the world. It's the PGA, USGA, anyway, all these golf tournaments are held at Pinehurst number 2. Number 10, I think, is another one, but anyway. And so, whenever I go there, there's a beautiful hotel, and it has a walkway that goes to the golf courses to where they tee off, and I just love that walk. It's about a mile walk. They have shuttles that go back and forth, but it's just a beautiful walk. And just think Pinehurst is in North Carolina, so it's heavily treed and pines. It's just really beautiful. The gardenias, when we go, you can smell them a mile away. It's just beautiful. So as you walk down and you get to the tee boxes and where you tee off, I think there's all these courses that go a different way, but for those of you who know a little bit of golf, you know that there's a gentleman named Payne Stewart who perished in a plane accident some years ago. And they have this beautiful bronze of Payne Stewart, like a tribute to him and to his legacy in the golf world. And then they have on the ground, a beautiful bronze, it's right there, it's called Creed of the Amateur. Now this was written by a gentleman his name is Richard S. Tufts, and he was president of the Golf Association. And I want to, as sewers, as I read this, and as I've read it many times, because I actually have this on a little thing in my office, it reminds me of us as sewers. And so I wanted to share it with you because I think it's the spirit. I get a lot of emails. What prompted me to do this tonight is I get a lot of emails, as you know, and some of the emails are yelling at me, and some of the emails are telling me all these things I do wrong, and some of the emails are really kind, and I think overall this really helps. And so some of these words I'm going to change out a little bit, okay, to where you really understand that it applies to us as sewers. So he starts off and he says, amateurism, after all, must be the backbone of all sport, golf, or otherwise. The word I sub in there is hobbies. In my mind, an amateur is one who competes in a sport for the joy of playing, for the companionship it affords, for health-giving exercise, and for relaxation from more serious matters. Sewing is not life and death. Sewing is not, go broke or go home. Sewing is fun. When it doesn't get fun, we put it away for a while, and then we come back. We do our homework. We gain education. As a part of this lighthearted approach to the game, to sewing, we accept cheerfully all adverse breaks, is considerate of his opponent, plays the game fairly and squarely in accordance with its rules, maintains self-control, and strives to do their best, not in order to win, but rather as a test of his own skill and ability. These are his only interest, and in them, material consideration has no part. The returns which amateur hobbies will bring to those who play in it is the spirit are greater than those that any money can possibly buy. So you know what? We need to remember this. We need to remember this, that as we love to embrace with our fellow sewers, that this is not life and death, and honor is among us. And let's give each other a little benefit of doubt until we ask. Feel free to, if you question something I'm doing, to shoot me an email and ask me before passing judgment to many others when maybe the facts aren't on your side. Okay? So I really think as you read this over and over again, it really, the first time I read it, which has been years ago, but every year I go to Pinehurst, I make sure I walk back to that plaque and read it again. And I just sit there for a little bit and really remember what's the spirit in what he's saying and how important these words are. Because you know what we're really doing? And golf, to me, like, who cheats at golf? You only lose yourself. You're only cheating yourself. And same with sewing. We are acquiring these skills. We are improving ourselves. It's the self-improvement that's so exciting to watch. And for me personally, sewing is a hobby that you'll never reach the top. You'll always get better. You'll always make better decisions because we're changing. We're always changing as an individual. All right, so will your fabric, Italian Holy Moly, work for the new Easy Knit cardigan pattern? The new Easy Knit cardigan pattern to be trendy? Yes, it's a great pair. And I'm sorry I didn't know those fabric numbers. I didn't do my homework as well as I should have, but yes, that's exactly what I was saying. Those are great together. What pattern from your collection would you suggest for textures similar to the garments shown? Similar to the garments shown. Go back to, that's the tank top, isn't it? Yeah, that's just do a little tank top, and you can square up the neckline if you want it to be exact, but that can just be a little tank top there. And you know what? We've got two, oh my gosh, you guys, we've got two fabrics, and because I've gotten Rebecca Taylor in groups, this fabric coordinates with this fabric over here, and I didn't get a chance to put it together, and it really saddens me, because two Rebecca Taylor fabrics we have, they're both plaids. They're navy with pink, I believe. One is the sheer, and one is the solid. So it would be beautiful to me to do one in a sheer like this, or over a sheer pant. The solid in the tank, and then a sheer in a pant. It's a beautiful combination. I put on there that this is the solid, and I put on there that this is the sheer, but they're like 10 fabrics away. And so you have to do your homework and look for them. I can't remember those numbers. What's the number for the pink print blouse on the mannequin? The number for the pink print blouse. We'll put it up afterwards, you guys. Afterwards, we always have a little page. We have all the fabric numbers on them. But this would be on the very front page of our fabrics page. It's on the very front. But I just don't remember the number. Sorry, you guys. For the Acros pattern, how much fabric would be added to make a dress? Just add a yard. If generally you take a yard for a top or a yard and a half, figure you need 2, get 3 to be safe, just because you need the length for the front and the back. But it does depend on whether you're doing sleeve or sleeveless. Okay, but just take a pattern, take a t-shirt pattern, lay it out on fabric, and for your size you can figure that out. Love the Acros blouse. Can I see a close-up of the neckline? Yes. We are short-handed a little bit back here, you guys, so just be patient a little bit. Maybe I'll just take it to the camera. We're going to show you a close-up there. So what this is there's two things going on here. The first thing is there's a little dropped shoulder. So you've got a seam right here. That's a dropped shoulder. A lot of people call that an extended shoulder. An extended shoulder is when it comes this way. So we've got a little dropped shoulder there. There's a seam there on both sides. And then you've got this little faux cowl in between those two areas. Really lovely little. I didn't do any contrasting fabrics in the faux cowl, but you guys, I'm right there. I'm right there ready to do some kind of, the whole reason I did it is I thought it'd be really fun to do like a striped body, and stripes can't be in cowls, so you can take a contrasting fabric and do a little bit of a cowl neck though. So you remember my job is to give you the base and your job is to take it up 5 notches. So now you guys know you're ready for your job, all right? Yeah, okay, so you saw a close-up of that. All right, anything else that you want to see as a close-up? Because right now we're behind the camera, so let's do all the close-ups while we can. And again, we're just short-handed a person, so we're running back there with 2 rather than 3. And I'm completely unable to run any video equipment, so I am so not any help. But we'll get there. The pre-sale on the patterns, it's a pre-sale. So if you order them tonight, you don't get them tomorrow. It's a pre-sale. That means you'll get them the end of February is when we'll ship them. And we already have them in process, and so we really, unless something happens where we print them, which has happened before, we'll be right on time and right on schedule. So you just can't believe what happens in the process of printing a few patterns. It's amazing. But other than anything, everything should go great. Do you still have the blue jacket fabric? Yes, this fabric is just up on the site. I mean, I don't know if we literally have it. I put it up today. Quite a few of you were jumping the webcast and ordering fabric, I noticed, before the webcast even started. But it is up there. It's a linear, 100% cotton. It's a Rebecca Taylor. It's a stretch woven. It's got just a little bit of stretch to it. Okay? What's the pattern number, not the fabric number? I'm sorry. So let me go through them all, just so you make sure. The 201, the cardigan that I have on, is Knix Easy Kimono Cardigan. Kimono Knit Cardigan. Knix Easy Kimono Cardigan. Okay? And it's a kimono. We did a kimono because a lot of times when you, again, for that oversized look, there's a lot of times when you have a cardigan that you don't want it to be fitted because you want it to go over something else. So I think it's a real compliment to like the 196, which is just a great basic for us. V-neck, little tie, cardigan. Love it. Absolutely love it. Then we have 321. And 321 is this one. It's the Acros faux cowl neckline. Okay? Then we have 721. 721 is the A&O Kimono Blouse, white one that I have on. And then it's a princess seam, kimono sleeve, ruffle at the base, tie at the waist. And then we have 921, which is a Valentino's Unlined Jacket. It's got a little welt pocket. It's a princess seam. It's got probably my favorite thing is this whole button up the front thing. I just love the look of this. Little tiny buttons, it's small, it's petite. It's got a rounded collar here at the neckline, and then it's got a jean jacket cuff to where it buttons. I rolled it up, but it buttons at the bottom. Placket and button. You don't have to do that sleeve, but I put that sleeve in there because I really like the look. It gave it a little more jacket look. It is not a jacket, it's like a Carol's jacket. It is a blouse sleeve. So it's a 2-piece blouse sleeve, just FYI. So the cowl is gathered at the shoulder. Yes and no. Let's go up to this one. Can we bring a close-up of this for me? It's a dropped shoulder. So there is no shoulder seam. The dropped shoulder is down here. It's a dropped shoulder. So the cowl starts between the dropped part. The cowl does not go all the way to the shoulder. There's no seam literally at the shoulder seam. So it's a dropped faux cowl. All right, there you go. Does the armhole on the tank dress look really low? Well, these are these low mannequins. No, you can see this dress on. This is the same dress we saw in the video. There's a fashion little video on YouTube, and you can see it on a real person, and you can see where the armhole is. No, the armhole's not low. But this is just a little mannequin that's not to size, it's not to scale, it's not anything. Can you compare the sleeve drop from the pink to the purple blouse? They're the same, you guys. They're exactly the same. I mean, other than me sewing them and messing them up, but they're the same. How long does the pre-sale extend? 1 week. Next Tuesday's the last day. February 2nd is the day it ends. Can we see the back of the black top that you are wearing? Yes. Oh, sorry. Yep. On the Valentino jacket is designed to button, and only half of the buttons show. No, it's not designed to button. It's designed to be worn open like a jean jacket. It's designed as an accessory jacket. Doesn't mean you have to wear it that way, but it's really just meant to be worn open. But you can do whatever you want. What fabric is the blouse you are wearing? This blouse, we had the fabric and we sold the fabric, so we don't have this particular fabric anymore. Again, I've got an array of fabrics that are just stunning, and I've got something in very, very similar. We just can't get it all up at one time. So keep checking back because there is some really beautiful stuff. And we've got some really good pricing on all these fabrics. You can see these fabrics, cottons and everything, are all $14.99 and below. So we've just got some really good stuff. We're very, very excited for spring. We've actually bought most of these goods about 3 weeks ago, and we just crammed to get all the spring patterns sewn up in the video current. It's been crazy, like crazy. On the off-white blouse, do all 3 tiers. On the white blouse, do all 3 tiers. Are you talking about this one? This is the tank top, you guys. This is not a new pattern. This is a tank top. I did this on a YouTube. This is one I did on a YouTube a little while ago. This is the tank top pattern. And yes, to answer your question, all 3 tiers go to the shoulders. Yes, sorry. But that's all on a YouTube. Okay, I just used it as a base under that because I thought it was pretty. The little black lines pulled in the border prints. Could you please do a close-up of the jacket button details? Yes. Yes. Hang on, and we'll switch. Okay, so you'll see just little, just leave it there, and he can come in, and then once he's in, it'll focus. Give it a minute to focus. I'm going to show you what it actually does. Give us a second, you guys. Well, it's not focusing. Our regular camera guy's not here, you all. Alright, so leave it there. What it does is it's got a little placket, like this actually comes underneath. It's really pretty. And then same with the buttons. The buttons actually have a little section that's underneath there. And so this layer is on top. And same with this. I just love it. I mean, I know that on the screen you can't see the detail. The detail is incredible. It's really beautiful. And I'm not sure. Sorry about the camera. It's just going a little wacko. It's doing its own thing. We don't know what it's doing. But for some reason we just can't get in any closer. It's okay. It's all right. Okay. Sorry, is the front tee of your new fabric 4034? Yes. Yes, it is. 4034, richly royal. I always have the numbers, you guys. I think I'm out of practice because we haven't done a webcast for a while. I know we did the fitting one, but I didn't have all these fabrics, and I'm sorry, I just have blanked out. Could I raise the neckline a bit without ruining the cowl effect? Yeah. But I wouldn't, you guys, I would always make it first before you decide to do changes. But yeah, you'll see if you want to raise, you'll raise, there's 2 pieces. One is the cowl and it sews to the base. Just raise both of those. You'll see. Very easy to do. Absolutely love the Valentino jacket. Me too. Thank you. Could you put a zipper in the front instead of the button? Sure. Absolutely. And you know, obviously if you did the zipper, well, you still wouldn't have to close it. Yeah. Yeah. Yep, I just love this button treatment. I mean, I just absolutely love it. So I just love the detailing on it. It sold me on the whole jacket. We're trying to get that camera for you. We're trying to adjust it. That's close. I mean, you guys can see. It's too bad you can't really see because my pockets are really good. They're really pretty. I'm really proud of my welts. And then this, I love this blue plaid. I mean, I just love this. This is a Kimono stretch woven. It's adorable. But anyway. All right, so any other questions we can ask you? That's it. We're off to the races. Those 4 patterns. You get them ordered, get them in. Sorry about the math. Not sure what, you know. I just do as I was told. They told me it's 1 free pattern and free shipping. We squeezed in another $2 somewhere. I don't know where. But anyway, it's those high-minded accountants of mine that run all the pricing. But they are $49.99. All right, anything else we can answer for you? We are excited to really be here to spring. We wish it was tomorrow. Get your fabric, get ready. We'll get you the patterns as soon as we can. Could you actually button up the jacket? Yeah. Yeah. You can just, you know, I mean, I use these little gunmetal buttons, and they're small, but they're adorable. So yes, you can still button up the jacket. And just leave it like that. But anyway, yeah. And then when you do that, you just see the actual button there in the middle. It just, the 2 panels kind of meet, just shy of where the middle overlaps. Can you explain fabric, linen, knit? Linen, it's just a linen knit. This is a linen knit. And now we're trying to come in to get, this is a linen knit underneath here. Linen is, it's like a cotton knit, but the fiber is just linen. You're going to have to ask me what you want me to explain. I'm not sure what to explain. How you adjust for shoulder slope on the drop shoulder 321. Well, you'll just do it on the pattern itself. You don't actually have to do it in the seam. So, for instance, if you add to the back and take away from the front, you don't have to do that anymore. If you change the angle, you can still change the angle by overlapping the neck edge, the shoulder edge and not the neck edge. You can still change the angle of the shoulder just as if there was a seam there. When you change the shoulder angle, you simply change on the shoulder edge and not the neck edge. You can still do that even though there's not a seam. You just cut to the point right here and overlap it. Just as if you would pinch a dart right here. You pinch it here and you take it to nothing there. Same exact way. You just do it in the fabric and the muslin ahead of time. Okay? So yeah, question on the Bailey's cape. Bailey's cape. Oh, okay. So this is not on the new patterns. I'm going, Bailey's cape. Do we have a Bailey's cape? Confused with the lines and the sizes. For instance, there are no cutting lines near the S that are 2 very close lines near the M. What do we follow? Bailey's cape. So you guys, whenever you're doing the sizes, just go from the small to the largest. Even if they're not right on, just look at the sizes there are and then go out. And then trace them all the way around until you kind of figure out the big picture. I mean, off the top of my head, I could not even possibly answer that question simply because I don't know. But if you can email me and I'm happy to help you. All right? What fabric did you use on the black wrap you're wearing? This was some of that holiday stuff that we had, this sparkle, and we don't have it anymore, but we had that little sparkle stuff, and I thought, I loved it. I mean, I really, really liked it. It's gone now, but I just loved it. So I made me a little sparkly wrap. But I think it goes year-round. I don't think it has to be just the holidays. When will your sew-along be? We have 2 weeks from now, we have that sewing. I have a lot of sewing to get ready for that because I really want it to be a fun sewing thing. There's lots of, I want to bring you, this is kind of a forecast. The next 2 weeks is really, really what's in the stores, what's really made it through the fashion shows, through the, what's really present. And so I want to do that. And then sometime possibly in late February, we'll do a sew-along. We'll see how the timing goes. But there won't be anything right now. Well, January's almost over. But anyway, there won't be anything in January nor the first part of February, but then as February goes on, we'll start bringing those sew-alongs back in. I'd like to do one at least once every month. And the other thing we're going to do, you guys, is we're going to have a new product every month. So January, we have the tables. We're going to use the tables as our new product. So we have the sewing tables. We're excited. We've shipped a lot of them. You all love them. You're happy with them. I love that you're happy with them. We've had a lot of patience with them because there's been some tables that were bought online and we don't have them in the stores. And so anyway, we figured all that out. So we're really excited about our new tables. But also what I want to do is I want to share product. So that means if you have something and you love it and you use it all the time, let us know. Let me know about it. Email it to me so we can maybe think about, okay, we'll bring that in and share it with everybody else. The goal is too, as we do more and more online shopping, to be able to save you money. If you're buying something at this site and you think that we should carry it so you can save some money in shipping, you know, we'll look at carrying that. So every month we want to introduce a new product. We've got a lineup of the first 6 months, but we can always do something different and do something new. So if you've got something wonderful, let me know. And we'll incorporate it in and bring it in so that we can all save a little bit of money, okay? How do you think the Valentino would look with a regular denim? I think it'd look great. It's like a jean jacket. I think that's a great idea. And remember, you got to make it biodegradable denim, okay? You have to remember that term because it makes it really current and fresh. Could you also sew the new jacket with yoga pant? Yes, with yoga pant 3400. Absolutely. Are you getting more fabrics than the severe restrictions? Constrictions from last spring? We have lots of fabrics. I don't know what happened last spring or what the reference is to, but we have lots of fabric and lots coming in, and I have piles of samples to look through for new fabrics. So we have more fabrics than I have time to get to, but I think that's a good thing. Okay? All right, so we're at time. I want to say thank you all for being here and thank you for watching. We love you all. You know that. And happy sewing. See you in 2 weeks. Bye.